When it comes to Drake and Kendrick Lamar, the contrast couldn't be more striking right now. Drake is getting blasted, not only for running a failing tour that nobody seems excited to attend, but also for outright scamming fans with sloppy shows where he can't even remember his own lyrics on stage. Every night feels like the same circus, and fans are starting to catch on quickly. Meanwhile, Kendrick Lamar continues to elevate his craft, turning his tour into a display of pure dominance. Drake, once seen as the Iceman, has now officially fallen from grace, going from trash man to scam man. The difference couldn't be louder, and hip-hop is watching the biggest winner and the biggest loser face off in real time. Here's the kicker: Drake's fans don't even want these stories spreading. They've grown more defensive than ever, acting like that bootleg knockoff of One Dance he just dropped is some kind of smash hit. Then, in the same breath, they defend their 40-year-old favorite rapper posing with half the Stranger Things cast as if that's legendary. It's embarrassing. Before we dive even deeper into this madness, make sure to hit that like button, because the support truly means everything. With every shaky performance on this Some Not Special Shows for You tour, the gap between perception and reality keeps widening. No matter how hard his team tries to spin the optics, the truth is right there on stage, and it isn't pretty. It's shocking how sloppy this has become. Drake and his crew are so unorganized that every new clip only makes the OVO karaoke circus look worse. This isn't a tour anymore, it's a karaoke festival gone wrong, the kind you'd expect at a small-town dive bar, not from someone claiming to be one of the greatest in the game. What started as fans joking about him letting the crowd carry the show has now turned into harsh reality. His own supporters are forced to sing over pre-recorded vocals just to keep the energy alive. At this point, the crowd is working harder than Drake himself, and even the speakers are doing more heavy lifting. That's not performing. That's running a hustle in plain sight. The scam is fully exposed now. A new video from the Some Lame Shows for You tour shows Drake pretending to perform one of the biggest tracks off SSS for You, a record so forgettable I swore never to replay it. You can see it clearly, Drake sprinting across the stage while the audience belts out the lyrics for him. The only time it even looks like he's saying more on one side of the stage than the other is because a teleprompter is literally feeding him the lines. That's not artistry, that's survival. And to be honest, every new video from this tour makes him look more awkward. His movements are stiff, his expression barely changes, and the entire performance feels robotic, like he's trapped in autopilot mode. It's giving off Stranger Things energy. And now it all starts to make sense. Drake, the so-called touring giant, has been caught doing full-blown karaoke at his own shows. He tries to step on stage as if he can compete with Kendrick Lamar or any other rap legend right now, but the reality is ugly. This isn't greatness. This is laziness caught on camera. And to be fair, Drake isn't the first artist to pull this stunt. Even Lil Wayne has let the crowd and machines carry him before. I've worked around touring myself, and I've seen plenty of acts I'd never pay for doing the same trick. But here's the difference. When you're supposed to be a generational name, one of the all-time greats, you don't get to phone it in. Here's the raw truth. Many so-called stars aren't even writing their own music or feeling the words they spit. They're mascots, reading off screens, selling an image, and cashing in while fans do the heavy lifting. And now Drake has been exposed as the biggest mascot of them all. At the end of the day, too much of the music industry is filled with straight-up grifters. These artists aren't moving with passion, they're clocking in like it's a 9 to 5. Stack that against someone like Kendrick Lamar and the difference is night and day. While Drake hides behind speakers, teleprompters, and his fans screaming the words for him, Kendrick raps with purpose, precision, and soul. The wildest part is that Kendrick builds his shows so the crowd engagement feels natural. He knows exactly when to let the audience have their moment and when to take it back with raw bars that shake the room. That's why when he performs Family Ties, the energy feels explosive. But when he delivers Man in the Garden, the crowd sits back in awe, realizing they're watching one of the greatest to ever touch a mic. Even the small details prove it. When Kendrick switches his flow mid-performance, bends a lyric, or takes a breath in a new spot, it isn't sloppy, it's genius. It shows his mind is a walking rap encyclopedia, processing the emotion of the verse instead of just reading words off a screen. That's the mark of a true MC, someone who can improvise without losing the message. And it's not just Kendrick. I've seen Nas, Common, Earl Sweatshirt, Action Bronson, J. Cole, all legends in their own right. Real MCs carry this unspoken power, this intangible energy that leaves you frozen in awe. Compare that to the Drake karaoke tour, and it's clear the gap between real artistry and lazy performance has never been wider. Look at tours like the Grand National or Chromopia. The difference is undeniable. Those artists don't lean on gimmicks. They don't let machines or crowds carry them. They show up fully locked in, spitting their lyrics with control because they actually know and believe in their music. Their energy comes straight from the heart, and the audience feels every word. That's Drake's problem. For him, the stage looks like nothing but a paycheck. Meanwhile, Kendrick and Tyler are treating the stage like sacred ground. From set design to lighting, storytelling, visuals, and transitions, everything in their shows screams A1 quality. You're not just watching a concert, you're experiencing something closer to Broadway theater, with every layer syncing perfectly with the music. Now compare that to Drake, a man relying on a lyric machine for songs he literally released months ago. That's embarrassing for someone claiming legend status. While Kendrick and Tyler are setting the gold standard in rap performances, Drake is fumbling through his own material like he just downloaded the lyrics 5 minutes before stepping on stage. At this point, it's not even about taste anymore. It's about effort. Some rappers are elevating hip-hop to new heights, and others are dragging it down. Others, like Drake, are dragging hip-hop into the mud with lazy, half-baked shows, and every leaked clip makes it clearer. He's become one of the laziest performers in the game. Normally, when rappers lean on machines, it's for old tracks they dropped years ago, songs they might have genuinely forgotten. That's giving them the benefit of the doubt. But Drake, he's using a lyric machine for a record he released just this February. That's not memory loss. That's pure laziness, dressed up as a performance. The craziest part is the timing. Drake's back is against the wall right now, while Kendrick Lamar is running the biggest tour of his career. You'd think this would light a fire under Drake, push him to sharpen up, maybe even rival the Grand National Tour. But no. Instead, he chose to coast, sliding along as if he could reclaim the top spot in rap with a bare minimum. That plan collapsed in front of everyone's eyes. This is why people say Drake's laziness dragged rap into a dark era. He was once the centerpiece of the culture, delivering tours that set the standard. Now, his shows are the punchline. Fans laugh as he forgets lyrics, dodges random objects thrown on stage, and cancels gigs after overbooking venues that couldn't even sell out. The whole thing is a train wreck unraveling in real time. Every new clip feels stranger than the last. Every cancelled show makes the mess louder. And every lazy moment proves the Drake era has fallen harder than anyone expected. When you put Drake's Not Some Special Shows For You tour next to Kendrick Lamar's Grand National run, the contrast feels like comedy versus tragedy. Drake's tour looks like a bad joke falling apart, while Kendrick is not only solidified but already building toward the next level with what he's just dropped, and what's planned for the final leg. The difference couldn't be louder. To close out the year, Kendrick is wrapping the Grand National Tour in Australia, the same place where Drake embarrassingly cancelled his Anita Max win dates. And here's the hilarious part. Kendrick booked those shows solo, no co-headliner needed, and sold them out with ease. Then he stacked even more dates because demand was so high. Within days, he'll be running 4 stadium shows, nearly the same number of arena shows Drake cancelled when things fell apart. But Kendrick isn't just packing stadiums. He's turning the finale into a celebration. He's bringing heavy hitters with him, and some nights will even feature Schoolboy Q tearing it down. There are even whispers of a black hippie reunion, which would turn the whole thing into a historic moment. This isn't just another tour stop, it's a full-circle statement, proof that Kendrick and TDE had the blueprint all along. While Drake scrambled to keep his messy tour afloat, Kendrick kept leveling up, bringing Doekiai along for the ride. And that's huge. She's already proven herself as both an artist and performer, and now she's about to hit stadium stages this early in her career. That's a massive look, one that flips the optics completely. On one side, you've got Drake running from Australia, cancelling shows left and right. On the other, Kendrick is trolling him in the most savage way possible, booking even bigger venues, packing them out, and making history with rising stars at his side. For Doekiai, this is a defining moment. Sure, she's faced negative discourse, first praised for a breakout year, then criticized with endless industry plant chatter. But standing shoulder to shoulder with Kendrick Lamar silences all of that noise. It positions her as someone the culture has to take seriously, someone who could be the next big name in rap. The chemistry is undeniable. A Kendrick and Doekiai collab wouldn't be surprising at all. Kendrick is already regarded as the hardest MC in the game, and putting Doekiai next to him frames her as the blueprint for the next era. Add in Schoolboy Q joining on select nights, and this run isn't just a tour, it's a showcase of where rap is headed next, with Kendrick steering the ship. Doekiai is about to get that official TDE stamp, and once that happens, everyone will know she's standing alongside the best rapper alive. What makes this so powerful is how Kendrick uses his platform, not just to flex dominance, but to put on new talent and build something far bigger than himself. He's taking his victory lap as the king of rap while lifting up the next generation. That's how you build a legacy. And when you compare this to Drake, the picture couldn't be more embarrassing. While Kendrick elevates the culture, Drake is stuck in karaoke mode, forgetting lyrics to songs he tried to sell as album highlights. Watching him stumble through shows while Kendrick builds dynasties proves how wide the gap has become. At this point, it's not even a fair comparison. For Drake, it's pathetic. For hip-hop's future, it's amazing. The way things are moving, it feels inevitable. Drake's house of cards will collapse. He's spent years trying to convince people he built something solid, but the cracks show on stage every night. Sooner or later, the entire structure will fall, exposing the lies for what they really are. At the same time, Kendrick is edging closer to building the dynasty he's always envisioned. PG Lang and TDE are moving like one machine, each artist playing their role as the bigger picture comes into focus. This isn't just about Kendrick, it's about rewriting how rap dynasties are built. Right now, it feels like we're standing on the edge of another genre-shifting moment between Kendrick, Doekiai, Schoolboy Q, and Baby Keem. When Keem makes his return, the pieces will be in place for a takeover that reshapes the culture. Kendrick isn't just flexing, he's trolling Drake while setting a new standard for live performances, showing everyone what real artistry looks like. And here's the warning shot for anyone brave enough to step against him. Before you go toe-to-toe with Kendrick Lamar, make sure you actually know your own lyrics. Because nothing looks more pathetic than a so-called legend fumbling through songs, hiding behind karaoke tricks, while Kendrick is out here changing the entire game. So now, let me know, what's your take on this chaos between Kendrick and Drake? How sad is it to watch Drake stumble through performances while Kendrick builds the future right in front of our eyes? And what do you think about Kendrick leveling up his tour, bringing Doekiai into the mix, and showing the world exactly where hip-hop is heading? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is Kendrick rewriting the rules while Drake's empire crumbles in real time? If you made it this far, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. It helps more than you know. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's next, because right before this, something huge just went down. Metro Booming spoke about how Kendrick's GNX tour has already shifted the entire rap landscape, while Drake suffered the biggest flop of his career.